Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the midweek review of the You Like That podcast. You're here with the You Like That Extra podcast. You're joined with me. My name is Adam, and I am one half of You Like That Extra.
My name's Jack. I'm the other half of You Like That Extra.
We're here today, guys, to bring you something different. We gave you guys a few different choices this week. Promising Young Woman, Black Swan, and
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. For whatever fucking reason. Focusing on the ladies.
It was supposed to be female revenge movies, but Black Swan isn't that. I thought it was, and then we watched it, and there's not a lot of revenge in it. Yeah, well, but it's still a very good movie.
Yeah, I never seen it. It was always the ones I thought was a little bit weird.
But it's not a revenge movie.
Yeah, okay. But
the other two are.
100%. Very much revenge movies. So the winner for this week was Promising Young Woman. It completely swept the floor.
Rightfully
for the
so.
Rightfully fucking so.
It was almost I'm just going to say we're doing Promising Young Woman.
It was basically literally you had just watched it and gone, it's going to be this.
One of those movies.
We'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes we try to bait the voting. And we kind of want to make it obvious.
I don't know what you mean at all.
That's just a little bit of the inside scoop. No, but look, we're looking at Promising Young Woman this week. I was very surprised with this movie when I watched it as well. It is not what I was expecting. If I could tell you that much for free. So let me run you through the quick little rundown for it. So Promising Young Woman, this was released in the back end of 2020. Hit streaming on demand early January 2021. Directed and written by Emerald Fennell. This is a runtime of 113 minutes. Budget of between 5 to 10 million. Cleaned up about 13.3 million in the box. Wasn't a big theatrical run. We had it over here.
It got COVIDed.
Yeah, it got COVIDed. We got the release over here, but for them it was just more straight to streaming.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes score 90% on the critics, 88% on the audience.
Yep.
They're all on board with this same mindset.
Yep.
Cast for this one. This is led by Carey Mulligan. We've also got Bo Burnham, Alison Brie, Clancy Brown, Jennifer Coolidge, Laverne Cox, Chris Lowell, Adam Brody, Connie Britton, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Alfred Molina.
Doc Ock himself.
Turns
up.
Shows up in the ending climax of this film. So yeah, Promising Young Woman, Jack. Start us off here,
Before we start, a bit of a content warning on this one.
I was thinking about that before as well.
We're gonna touch on some uncomfortable
trigger
subjects.
Trigger warning
sexual
for
assault,
you all.
stuff like that. So just heads up.
Yes. If you don't like to hear about that, that is what this movie has a primarily basis for. Is sexual assault and that type of stuff.
Spoiler warning, because we are going to talk about the end.
Yes.
All the reviews I saw before watching it, I somehow didn't get this movie spoiled for me because all the reviews are like, nah, just watch it. But it's long enough now where we can talk about it, I think. This movie, fucking hell, if The Invisible Man didn't come out last year, this would have been the best movie of last year.
Yep.
This is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, I reckon. This left such an insane impression on me. Like, it made me feel like no other movie has made me feel in a very long time.
Yeah.
Just the bombshell moments are so effective and just seem to reach out of the TV and just punch you in the chest. It's just fucking great, isn't it? And it's extremely harrowing, and it's a very important movie. It says a lot of important things, and it does it by being a very dark comedy movie. But the comedy isn't gross or poking fun at anyone.
Yeah, it's not over the top.
Yeah, like it is poking fun at people. Obviously, it's poking fun at men. Let's be honest. But rightfully so, in a very funny way and in a very clever way, not in a 4chan way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, the script is just so fucking good, and like the presentation, the soundtrack, how bright and colourful it is, despite how
dark,
like I said, harrowing. Yeah, I'm gonna say that word a lot in this review. God, this movie's just so fucking good, dude. Like out of nowhere, I knew something about it. I knew it was revengey. I knew it was rape revengey. So I was like, it's going to be uncomfortable and dark and probably have a whatever ending. Whatever. But nobody can expect this movie, I reckon. If you know nothing about this movie, you do not expect this movie coming.
Me for one.
Yeah.
I knew nothing of this movie. I had seen the trailers during COVID times.
The trailer was red hot viral for a minute. I remember the trailer going super viral.
I remember seeing it, but just not really paying attention to it because I just saw chick flick and went,
Yeah.
I don't need to see
Because
this.
the poster is like chick flicky.
Yeah. So I expected this to be a downright chick flick film. I knew nothing of the story. I knew nothing about it. I knew Bo Burnham was in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, meh.
A big Bo Burnham.
The only other thing I'd ever known was AJ actually messaged us when this movie came out and said we had to review this movie.
Yep.
And I was just like, yeah, maybe we'll get to it one day, maybe. Here we are.
We were too busy doing 13 Saw movies.
Yeah.
Whatever we fucking did.
5 months later, we're finally doing it. So shout out AJ for that one. But yeah, so upon seeing, hearing you watch it and completely fucking lose yourself over
I lost my fucking mind.
I was
over how
like,
good this
okay, I
movie
know
was.
Jack has some questionable things he likes, certain things that is out of his character and doesn't usually translate to me as well. Because we're same people, but we are very different people at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Especially in our movie taste. So watching this for the first time and going in completely blind, completely unaware of what was to come, boy was I fucking shocked.
Ooh, yeah.
But boy was I fucking in love.
Yeah.
This is a really fucking
So
great
good, hey.
movie.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Because I, originally, because I had a fucking busy ass week this week. I was supposed to see Mortal Kombat again with my sister. Then realized I didn't have the time because I still had to see our main show, Wrath of Man. I had people coming down because my mate from Queensland had come down for the weekend. I'm like, I have to fucking see him because I haven't seen him for a fucking year. And I'm like, I don't know when I watch this movie. So I started watching it yesterday afternoon. And just the morning I fell asleep halfway through. Not against the movie. That was literally just... My lounge is really fucking comfortable.
Adam being an old man.
I'm old man. My lounge is really comfortable. I'm falling into that trap of if the lounge is too comfy, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Through anything. And at that point, it was before any of the major stuff was happening in the plot. This was just about on the 50-minute mark when she stands up Bo Burnham for the first time.
Yeah, right.
So... Upon waking up, I thought, I can see that this story is a bit different to what I was expecting, but will this be worth me finishing to do the review today?
Yeah.
So I read the plot.
Yeah.
And when I read that end, I was like...
Same way to watch a movie.
Look, I had to decide, man. I had to make a decision.
Unbelievable way to watch a movie.
Look, it's out of the norm. I had no other choice. I just thought that was the most
your
viable
podcast.
option. It's our podcast. It's just I had to make a decision. That's the decision I made, and I'm happy with my decision because I watched the movie.
Yeah.
I finished watching it today before you came around. I said we've got to record. It's an hour later because I need to finish this because I do really want to finish this movie.
Yeah.
So finishing the movie tonight. Yeah, holy fuck.
Yeah.
This movie is fucking so brilliant.
So straight out of the gates, the movie sets its intention pretty clear with the first scene is what the movie's about. Yep. So her thing is what's her name what's her character? Cassie. So Cassie, her friend was raped when they were in college and they both dropped out of college.
Medical school.
Yeah. Cassie to look after her and then her name was Nina. Nina eventually took her own life.
Yeah.
So Cassie is out on this mission for blood, but in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
So she goes out and she pretends she's just super fucking blackout drunk to bait men into picking her up and taking her home. And then she snaps and she's like, hey, I'm sober. You're about to rape me or you're already raping me. And then the whole movie is a commentary on how people react to that, how... institutions react to that, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But that opening scene with Adam Brody is just like, he's such a nice, sweet boy.
Yep.
And he looks like he's doing the right thing. And then you have that moment of he's like, oh, like we can just go and get a drink. Like we'll have one drink.
Yeah.
And then it's the worst on-screen kiss you'll ever see. How fucking good is that kiss? Where he's just like, oh god, he's like.
Yeah,
licking her lips and just like
because she's just so like drunk faced.
She's so out.
Her lips aren't moving.
No.
He's just basically just kissing a corpse. Basically,
he's like
but he's so into it.
Yeah, and it's just like uncomfortable, and then there's that turn. It's like full on like horror movie villains. Just like sobers up immediately and like fucking...
She's like, I
hear a
said, what are
pin
you
drop.
doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, in title credits. And it's just like, she's doing the walk of shame, but like, she's not.
But they made that scene so curveball because it's panning up from the ankles up.
Yeah.
And then you see there's like some red stuff on her leg and then on her hands.
Yeah.
And you see she's just eating like a
Just
jam
eating a
donut. Just a leak in the jam donut. And you're like,
So you're like,
trying to make her think like she's a fucking serial killer.
Because like, maybe you think she is murdering these people. She's got a little book with a tally, like, and all their names, and like...
I could see a sequel to this being a horror movie.
Yeah, and it's like color-coded for like how aggressive they were or whatever. I assume. I don't know. Maybe she's just had an eye for art.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, there's probably some meanings behind what color meant what, because they were changed very sporadically in what they were. So
yeah, and then it turns into just this nice, like, you're learning about her dealing with this event and like, struggling with putting her whole life on hold in the wake of this trauma. And like, she's 30, she still lives at home. That's where the title of the film comes from.
Yeah,
she was in medical school, like you said. She was a promising young woman. Like,
she had it going for her.
But then, she still lives at home, and her parents don't really know why. Her friend doesn't really know why. She's only got one friend left.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the way we find out more is through Bo Burnham.
Yep.
Bo Burnham enter Bo Burnham. They spark up a relationship. Turns out he went to med school with her and is still friends with the medical school alum. And then some of the bombshells start happening.
Yep.
Oh boy, some of the bombshells start happening.
Yeah, so they start really falling in love, having a great time.
And their relationship, like he mentions they don't kiss and they don't, whatever. She's like super cold and weird and he can't read her.
Yeah.
And that's, she's
and
that's
obviously because she has this secret agenda going on.
And also, she's a trauma survivor. Like, of course. Like, if you've witnessed that or been affected by that, you're not going to want to kiss a dude,
Yeah, she's just trying to find her own justice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's... it just hits you everywhere.
The relationship is super sweet and natural, and
it's such a swing in the mood of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you get hit with the full love story in the middle,
and it's never implied that they start having sex or whatever. Like, sex isn't even a part of their relationship.
Yeah, no.
It's just not a thing at all.
No, you just get the niceties.
And it's running parallel to her, like, still wanting to get justice.
Yeah.
And like her own morality of like what she's doing is starting to affect this relationship.
Yeah.
Because she gets caught doing it by him in the early stages.
Yeah.
And you're like, that really disappoints you as the audience because like, I want this to work and I want her to stop doing this. Even though she's right and she's making these people stop raping people probably by scaring them. But also, I want this relationship to work, and it's kind of ruining her life. And like, it's just like the morality is there, but off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's hard to explain, but it's just like
because you think you're gonna get that turn of them actually just focusing on the love aspect of this, like when Cassie goes to see Nina's mum. Yeah, and her mum's just sort of like, what are you doing? And
Nina's mum knows what she's doing. That was really surprising to me.
Yeah, she's just like, you just got to get over it.
Yeah,
for everyone's sake, for us, for you.
Yeah,
she's like, you just got to let it go.
Yeah, it's not doing Nina any.
Yeah,
like nobody's remembering Nina.
Yeah, she's like, think you're helping, but really you're not. And that's sort of where the turn comes in, and she tries to give all that up. And okay. All right.
And on the morality thing too, like even when she's like with the McLovin one, it's not McLovin, is it? He's in Superbad.
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Yeah, Kick-Ass, Red Hood and Kick-Ass, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's good. You know.
It's just McLovin.
She gives him so many opportunities to stop. She gives him so many opportunities to maybe not redeem himself because he's still like a weird creep, but to just not do anything. Like, you know what I mean? She, even though she's like blacked out and fucked, she doesn't want to do drugs, but he forces drugs into her. And she's like, I don't want to kiss you. He still just kisses her anyway. She falls asleep, passes out, and he's like scarily angry about it. So she gives him all these opportunities to stop, and he keeps going.
Yep.
And that's the crux of sexual assault, really.
Yep.
And so you're on her side. like really on her side, because she is trying to not just completely villainize these people.
Yeah,
she's trying to make
give
them,
the chance.
and be like, hey, what you're doing
how
is,
far are you going to go?
Exactly. What you're doing is horrific and horrible, and you shouldn't even get to this stage.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have taken me home in the first place. But I'm still giving you, like, still laying out these stepping stones to go on the good path.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then, so as the audience are like, yeah, it's kind of good, but also maybe not. Maybe she's just enabling it. And then Nina's mum comes in and goes, like, genuinely, what the fuck are you doing? Please stop. Please stop doing it.
Yeah, because you can interpret what Cassie does to all these men in different ways. There's obviously some people will tell you there is only one way you can look at this, and that is she's doing a good thing.
Yeah, obviously we're two straight white males.
Yeah.
Just,
take our opinions with a grain of salt.
We are aware.
I don't care. Then there's other people that can look at this and go, yeah, but does that make her any better than
it's entrapment?
The guys taking her.
Yeah, like, you know. And the college dean even sort of brings that up. She says it so throwaway, and it's such a horrible thing to say. But she says, "Oh, you know, we get these accusations all the time."
Yeah,
and it's just like, and you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like,
how did you get to
scream something?
Yeah, exactly. How does it get to that point where it's so common that that's a throwaway thing to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, this customer comes in all the time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like akin to that.
Yeah,
that's how big of a problem it is.
Like, it's because it's a whole, it's a vigilante type.
Yeah, absolutely. She's Batman.
And as it is, vigilantes are regarded in many different ways, depending on who you ask. Good guys or bad guys.
Yeah. And so everyone who watches this is going to take it differently.
But I think that's how, who's it, the chick? Emerald Fennell. I think that's how, like, I think she did it on purpose this way, was to make sure there is that sort of split in audience that watches this.
Yeah.
Want people to go, she is good, she is not as good.
Moral ambiguity. Like, she's doing the right thing, but she's going hard for it.
Yeah.
Doing, like, literally kidnapping the dean.
Especially by the end of it, you know.
Kidnapping the dean.
There are questionable things, and, like, you know, I'm not sitting here and taking it away from anyone, but you got to look at those things. You can't just, like, shy away and just go, maybe not. But
so the dean is a female.
Yeah.
And she has zero remorse until... This is the first time ScoMo is ever going to be mentioned on this podcast. Probably the only time, by the way.
Okay, bring it.
But yeah, and then so Cassie kidnaps her daughter and makes the dean think her daughter is in a room full of drunk males.
Yeah.
And the dean just loses her mind. Just like, can't believe... Like, so scared. And it's that thing of like... What does she say? I wrote it down. Sorry, I wrote down the quote. I guess it feels different when it's someone you love.
Yeah.
Right, so we had this thing, Australia blew up recently because of all the sexual assault in Parliament House. ScoMo was doing fucking nothing. ScoMo was saying nothing.
Yeah.
And then his wife tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Oh, but what if it was your daughter?" And then in his press conference, he was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know how bad it was until someone made me think about my daughter." It's just like, really? Like, you didn't... You know what I mean? And then the dean... And so the dean in this movie is a female, and she says that, like, it's such a problem in this thing. But then you get to Alfred Molina's character, who arguably is probably the worst, being this big lawyer guy. Yeah. But he shows genuine remorse.
He literally basically says, "I will never get over this. There's nothing that can be done to let me forgive myself."
Because he remembers Cassie, he remembers Nina. And he's like, you have to forgive me.
Yeah.
And then you don't even know.
I can't sleep over this. It ruins me. I feel like the worst guy. I don't deserve forgiveness. No. But I'd want you to forgive me, but I know that I don't deserve that. Yeah. Because he's the lawyer that got...
he's the lawyer that got Al
Munro.
Al Munro. He got the guy who raped Nina off. Yep. Because it's just like one drunk photo at a party makes a hostile jury. That's what he says.
Exactly.
And he's like going on about how easy it is.
Yeah, how easy it is. Before we'd have to physically go through trash to find evidence. So now we just go on a social media profile and there's one photo. Yeah,
and that's Emerald Fennell again, just like, this guy's a fucking monster, but he's showing actual remorse. So you're like, okay, is he a good guy now? And then she gives him the power at the end. We won't jump straight to the end yet, but she gives him the power at the end to be a hero.
Gives him the power because I think
because she believes him. She believes he's remorseful.
Because his case is sort of like being a lawyer. Sometimes you don't have the choice to be the good guy in a case. Some of them it's just that's what they do. They get given a case and they go, okay,
yeah, of course,
that's their job. I fucking hate it. And any lawyer that has to protect a murderer, a rapist, a sexual assault accused, anything like that, and they get them off, they fucking hate you so much.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, but I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they're on board, if it's because that's
people,
their job.
People see it as you're supporting them, but no, it's just their job. Really.
But then it's just like, well, they pay us,
and they got no enjoyment.
If anything, it went to just that firm, and they've gone, "You're on this case."
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know law. Maybe there's something where they can't say no. They have to go, all right, I guess get this together.
Yeah.
You don't know. But in Alfred Molina's case, as you said, he comes across different to how every other boy is in this movie.
Yep.
When they're under the threat of something being released or her proving that she's sober.
Yep.
And he genuinely reacts differently to how they all do.
Yeah. And he just said, he's like, are you going to hurt me? And he doesn't seem to care if she is or not.
Yeah.
And turns out she was going to.
She was going to.
She had a bloke there.
I saw that. I've gone.
Yeah, she had a bloke waiting to roughen him up. But then she called it off because...
she sensed that, okay, no, he knows the wrong.
So yeah, that's kind of it. Because the relationship's going so well and Nina's mum tells her to drop it. The lawyer's like, yeah, it fucked me up too. Like, you just have to try and get on with it and fix your life. So they do that. Oh no, we skipped over Alison Brie. Let's go back to Alison Brie's.
She's
the
Madison,
one with the twins. Yeah, Madison.
The one that gets drunk at the place with her and
so she's like an old friend who was there at the party where the thing happened, and she's like, she's really awful about it, isn't she? She's like, oh well, when you're blackout drunk all the time, like talking to Cassie or about Nina. I couldn't really tell if she was talking about Nina or about Cassie. She's like, when you're that drunk all the time, people aren't going to know when no actually means no because you're always drunk and it's crying wolf. And it's just like, that's one of the first bombshell lines. It's just like, oh my god, do people actually think like that? I hope people don't actually think like that, but I have to imagine they do if they wrote it, like, you know what I mean? So that's a pretty brutal revenge as well. What she does to her,
really fucking
holy shit.
She gets her pissed off her brain, and then
but that sets up the end of the movie starts.
Yeah, essentially, it's set herself up for further destruction.
Yeah, so she hires a bloke to make Madison think she's been raped.
Yeah,
or cheats on her husband.
Take her home.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So of course Madison loses her mind. She's just like, I don't know what happened.
Constantly trying to call Cassie to find out what happened.
So she knows how effective it is, even when you're blackout drunk, not remembering. That's even more scary, sort of. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But that makes her really pissed at Cassie and gives her the phone with the video on it. There's a video of the rape happening.
Yeah, she says...
And that's where
we found that there is footage of what happened, something that they didn't have when the trial first happened.
Yeah.
So there was no...
Well, they did have, they just didn't do anything.
Yeah, obviously the people that had it weren't on the side of trying to help Nina's case.
See what I mean by harrowing? This movie is incredibly harrowing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't feel
good. So this is where the first real big bombshell fucking hits in this movie.
So effective. Like.
Yep, so she starts to watch the footage. We don't see any of it.
Thankfully they don't show it.
Beautiful. All we get is the sound.
Yeah.
Which
and Carey Mulligan, holy shit. She should have won Best Actress, like, just for that scene alone, like, reacting to that so realistically, and she changes the color of her face, like, she's ashen and she's white, like, she's seen a ghost, like,
because
that's a hell of a performance.
Because what we get from there, we're hearing the voices of guys being very loud and drunk, and they're all, just drunkenly talking about what's happening, crowded, doing sex. Stuff, we know what's happening. Then we hear a familiar voice.
You hear Vine's own
Vine's own Bo Burnham.
Oh,
We hear
God.
Ryan's voice.
It is.
We hear them refer to him as Ryan.
Because you are so in on their relationship. You're like, he's it. He's gonna set her on the right path. Like, like even the parents think that. Like they have that nice little dinner scene. It's very cute and funny.
Yeah. So Ryan was there.
Yeah, when you, the audience, hear Ryan's voice, like you react the same way she would because you've been a part of that relationship. You have that taken away from you as well.
Yeah.
And then you're like, so you have that bit, and then you think about her, and you're just like, oh fuck, what's she gonna do? What is she gonna do?
What
so
is
you get
she
like,
going to do?
Yeah, you kind of get this gross excitement. You're like, oh, this is gonna be...
Because you've gone, all right.
This is gonna be
We thought this
spicy,
was
dude.
like, she was going like revengey then. Yeah. Now, new fucking...
And even her revenge, like I was saying, like she gives them chances and stuff, and you're like, there's no way she's not just cutting dicks off now.
Yeah.
And then, and then the last act of this movie, or the last act and a half of this movie starts.
Yeah. So, we get the full breakdown between her and Ryan. She goes to visit him at work. Shows him the footage. He's like, the fuck? And he's like, you know what that is? And then hears his voice and he's like, ah, fuck.
Yeah. And even as he's watching, he's like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I don't want to watch this. I wasn't even there. And then he's cut off by his own voice in the video. It's just like, oh my, you were fucking slime ball. I thought you were good.
Yep.
But you're a fucking slimy garbage man.
He just then breaks down because obviously he's in the medical world now. He's a pediatric surgeon.
And she mentions that. He works with children and stuff. She's just like, well, that video got out.
Yeah, it would be very damaging.
Yep.
And her compromise is you tell me where...
So Al, the rapist who eventually led to Nina's death, he's getting married.
Yeah.
That's
sort of bachelor party coming up.
It's like woven in through this. You sort of know. Like when she's talking to the dean, she's like, yeah, he's doing great. He's getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just find
She's
out.
on her friend page or whatever they trend, whatever.
Yeah, friend book or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I love movie Facebooks. I love the things they come up with.
They try so hard.
But yeah, and you find out it's his bachelor weekend.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, tell me where that is, but don't ask why.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't tell them I'm coming, just tell me where it is, and then maybe this video won't get out to the public.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Yep.
So he gives that up.
Don't tell them either because I'll still release the video. So it all makes sense. Like, there's no fucking skipped anything in this movie. Everything is so thought out.
Yeah. So he's now on the fritz because he's obviously sketching the fuck out because this can ruin his career. This can ruin everything for him being a part of this heinous, terrible act.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the ultimate climax of the movie. This is now Cassie getting ready to confront and end this.
Yep.
By going straight
one
to
way
the
or
source.
another. Yeah.
This is no more beating around the bush and just doing random guys. This is going straight to the source of the pain.
Yep.
So dresses up as a nurse.
This is where this is where any comedy of a dark comedy goes away. This is the last 30, 35 minutes. There's not a joke. There is nothing to smile about in the last 30 minutes.
This is all the fallen part. Dresses up as a nurse, drives out to this retreat where they are staying in some cabin in the woods. Obviously to give the illusion that she's a stripper.
Yep.
For the bachelor party, as it would be. It's a bunch of fucking dumbass American jocks. It's what you'd expect.
Yeah.
So she comes in, and Al Monroe's like, the fuck? Like, I said no strippers. He seems like a very loyal fiance right now.
He's like painted like a saint.
Changed his ways. He's a medical doctor as well. He's got his life sorted and all that shit. So she acts, like she is just a hired worker.
Yep.
To enjoy this bachelor night. Gives everyone drinks, gives a bit of a lap dance, and then says to take him upstairs.
Yep.
He's like, I don't want to do anything. She's like, we don't have to do anything. I just don't get paid unless I take you upstairs.
It's such a great way to do it, Like any other movie would just be like, yeah, they just went up together and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But just a little line like that makes all the difference.
Yep. So it takes him upstairs and then handcuffs him to the bed. She's like, it's just for my safety.
Yeah.
Some guys, they just can't keep them handsy
too
themselves.
Grabby. What does she say? Handsy.
Yeah, too handsy.
So they get a bit, even the gentlemen get handsy.
Yeah. And then once that second hand's
which is a little bit of commentary on sex workers as well. Getting, fucking Jesus Christ, sex workers, real work, like they deserve to be safe in the workplace as well.
Yeah, 100%.
But alas, we live in this time.
Exactly right.
It's not happening.
So, we get the final confrontation. We get her revealing, well, not exactly
She says her
revealing.
name is Nina Fisher.
Yeah. And then he freaks out because he's like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
How do you know that name? She's dead.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I don't know. Why would I tell you the name
The
of a
whole
dead
time
girl?
he has no idea who Cassie is. Like,
Yeah.
Cassie just, yeah.
Until he eventually clicks on, he's just like, oh, you're her friend, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
She is.
she's the friend. She is now... Is she there to kill him? I don't think she is.
I think she's going to carve Nina into him.
That's the premise, I think.
Yeah,
because
she talks about, like, Al went off and had this brilliant, beautiful life and never thought about the name Nina again.
Yeah.
Whereas Nina, everywhere was Al.
Everywhere Nina went,
Al Moreau.
Al's name was there
And
surrounding her.
And Al is, like, panicking as they're having this back and forth. So Cassie's telling this story of what it's like to be a rape victim.
Yeah.
Just, like, how it's all-consuming. It's your whole life. And Al just says it, like, during the argument, he goes, it's every guy's worst nightmare to get accused like this.
And she just like, laughs and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and her retort is, imagine what a girl's worst nightmare is.
Yeah.
Then. And it's just like, it's so true. It's so poignant. Like, it's such a
because he's seen there trying to plead his
hammer
case.
drop line. Yeah.
And it's like his video
like,
of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still trying to worm out. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
and then it says that line, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
And because Bo Burnham also said the same thing, I was just a kid. She's like, if I have to hear that one more time,
yeah,
I swear.
So obviously the physical confrontation starts as she's going to carve Nina.
Yeah, what she says, well, now you are going to be...
you're going to carry her name around with you or something like that.
Now your name is going to be all about her name now or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is implied that she's going to carve Nina's name into
but I don't think she was going to kill him.
Yeah, probably not. Probably just to drive that point, but...
Yeah, and then this is why every reviewer on Earth said, don't listen to anything about the ending, just watch this movie. So we're going to say that right now.
Yes.
Do not, we've explained the whole movie, but the end is very important.
Yes.
So if you're ever going to watch this movie, pause this.
Yes.
Leave it open on your laptop forever.
Come back to us later once you've watched it.
Probably good for watch time analytics. I don't know. Yeah. And then come back after you've watched it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Spoiler zone.
Done.
Physical confrontation ensues, and he gets out of the handcuff and kills her. Straight up
suffocates her with
kills
a pillow.
Cassie. In one of the most uncomfortable death scenes. Like, it's so drawn out.
I say that, so I say it as it is one of the perfect pillow suffocation scenes in movie history.
Yeah. And
it's
I hate that.
I know, I hate it for saying that it's perfect. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But just if in a movie sense,
in terms of two actors as well, just like, holy shit.
Because
that must
it's
have been
long. This is exactly how
so
a suffocation scene would pan out in a real situation.
It's genuinely like close to 2 minutes.
Yeah, because it's not quick and it's not cut.
No.
It is from the back of the room and it slowly zooms in and zooms in and zooms in eventually.
Yeah.
And it's just constant struggle. She's struggling the whole time. He's struggling because he's got one hand still there. So he's holding her arm down with his knee and then he's trying to get the leverage to make sure.
And he just keeps saying, stop moving. Like, begging her to give him a chance to not kill her, you know?
Yep.
And like, he's great. I don't know who that is, but fucking hell. The way he screams, stop fucking moving as he's crying.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. Like, you don't feel sorry for him, obviously, but you're just like, as an actor, you're like, holy shit, that was incredible delivery.
Yeah.
And she's screaming away like, God, it must have been just so uncomfortable to shoot.
Oh,
especially
100%.
like knowing what the script is, like as the characters, as the actors, you obviously become these characters. Like, that must be so emotional to do. Like, holy shit.
100%.
So yeah, that scene is horrifying.
Yeah, absolutely horrifying.
Horrifying scene.
So she gets offed.
And then you are so fucking heartbroken because you're like, he's gonna get away with it again. Yep. The man is gonna get away with it. The rapist is going to get away with it again.
Yep.
And it's just like this whole movie was for nothing, sort of. Like, not for nothing. It still tells an important message. But you think, oh no,
but it's not how you wanted it to end.
No,
You're just
absolutely
like, no,
not.
there needs to be more for it.
But it's not the end.
It's not the end. He's sat there the whole night next to her body. Hasn't slept, obviously. His buddy Joe comes up and he's like, "Oh, the fucking stripper man." And he just like pretty much just starts crying again. She's like, "She's fucking dead."
Yeah.
And he just starts laughing. He's like,
oh yeah, you murdered that
He's
pussy.
like, you had so much sex, you killed her. Yeah. And then he's like, oh no, you did kill her.
Yeah.
And then it's that. The one thing I don't like is it's the standard best friend scenario of, no, it's okay, we'll fix this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, God, no, that wouldn't.
Straight up sociopath going, that's fine, we'll get rid of the body.
Yeah.
I'll sort it out. Al's completely distraught and like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
This is really fucked.
And even when he says, yeah, we'll just get rid of the body, he reacts very viscerally. He like sinks into himself and goes, oh my God.
Yeah, I killed someone, fuck.
Yeah, like, and we're going to have to.
He's getting married this weekend. Yeah, he's got to fucking dispose of this body.
Yeah. Still don't feel sorry for him though, because he's a prick.
Still don't feel sorry for him. So yeah, they burn the body. Finish that off. Act like nothing happened. Have the wedding.
Cuts to the wedding and you think that's it.
Thinking that's it.
Bo Burnham's there. Fuck you, Bo
Burnham's there. Cassie's parents file a missing persons report. They do go see Bo Burnham.
Yeah. And because everyone knew sort of what she was doing, everyone just and like she was depressed, living at home in her 30s. Everyone's just like, yeah, she just wasn't in the right frame of mind. She's probably just gone away to be mental. Pretty much, that's how the cops almost worded it too.
Bo Burnham also had the chance to tell the cops where she was going that weekend
because he didn't know she was dead.
No,
and he's still like, if I say anything, the video will get out. So he's still protecting himself. It's just disgusting.
Yep. Then obviously, the wedding's happening, and then, ding ding ding, scheduled text message from Cassie to Bo Burnham's phone.
Yep.
And a scheduled letter to Alfred Molina.
Yep.
At the time as well. So we see Bo Burnham is receiving a scheduled message from Cassie from beyond the grave, basically saying, "Did you really think this was the end?"
Yeah.
Alfred Molina gets a letter. It is the phone that had the recording on it with a note with directions saying, "In the event of my disappearance, I've gone here to see these people at this address. Give this to the police straight away."
Straight away.
So obviously that happens. Bo Burnham's text and see that the video is going out.
Yep, no matter what.
Straight to the public and to the police. It's happening. Now it's the end. Love from Cassie and Nina. Cops turn up to the wedding.
Yep.
And they arrest Al.
And that's it. That's the end. So
he gets caught.
She wins, I guess, but she's burnt in a pile. Yeah. So, like, you do get the ending you want, but you don't get it in a conventional way. So you're still conflicted the whole time. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, you feel a sense of accomplishment because you're like, okay, they got the guy.
Yeah.
That part's now buried with them.
But.
Yeah.
Didn't change much about the way people perceive victims or accusations or whatever.
It's basically gone.
This is die to prove her point.
Yeah, this is the length that someone has to go to, like, prove that.
This is how badly it affects one party, as opposed to the other party. So Nina committed suicide over it. Cassie died for the cause over it. So they sort of get the same ending, and then we don't know that the men. Whatever, the video gets out, so you assume there's some justice.
Yeah.
But it's not enough justice, and morally you're just like, oh God. It's grim.
It's very grim.
This movie is so lovely and feel good with just those moments of grimness, and then the whole last half an hour is just despair. Utter despair.
Really fucking in there.
So yeah, it's an extremely important movie.
Very much so.
Also just
it's so
really
fucking
fucking good as well.
It needs to gain this traction so it does make more people aware. I don't give a shit how much of a man you think you are. There's ways to treat women and there's ways to never treat a woman. And the way that these guys treat women in this is fucking appalling.
Yeah.
And it is no way.
That American frat guy, like, ugh. Yeah.
Like,
makes you feel just awful.
If you really think your only chances with a woman that's so far off her face, that's the only one you can get with because she's an easy target.
Yeah.
Fucking end your life that night. Don't pick her up. Drive yourself off a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright with that.
100%.
Yeah, fucking death to any abuser, honestly. Like, fuck it.
Just
one drink. You see a girl have one drink, don't kiss her. Don't try with her.
Yeah, no.
One drink, you don't even want to risk it. She might be a super lightweight.
Yeah.
doesn't know what she's doing.
Just be fucking normal. Just be a guy and just like...
Yeah, how easy it is.
Bring back chivalry, man. You know what? Do you know what the line was for me to spark my interest with Brooke? She was wearing an I Wrestled a Bear Once shirt.
Good band.
I looked at her and I went, did you really wrestle a bear once? And now we're engaged.
There you go.
If there's this fucking story that tells you how easy love is, that's the one.
Yeah, but this movie also highlights, and it's not just to women as well. It highlights to the boys. It highlights to the boys, like, call your fucking mates out.
Yeah.
The way they're talking, like Adam Brody in that opening scene, he's trying to steer the gross, pervy frat guys.
Yeah.
They're just constantly going like, oh, she would get it. She must be so...
Yeah, she's just asking for it.
And he's like, yeah, no, she's probably in distress. Like, let's leave her and keep talking about what we were talking about. So he's the nice guy.
Yeah.
I know Reddit's taken that term, but he is the nice guy.
Yeah.
And even still, he goes and does the right thing and tries to help her. But the whole time, he's had this ulterior motive. Yeah. So it's a message to the boys. Like,
it's 100%.
Call your mates out. If you see your mate being a fucking creep, stop him. Stop
100%. Because
if you know any female, you know a victim. Like, I'm sorry. That's the stat. And it's horrifying.
I know them as well. It's
a horrifying
many people I know come out on Instagram about it.
Yeah.
And it's great to see so many women coming out with so much more now.
Yeah.
Granted, some of them are people that you might have known to be nice people. Hell, there's been people that I thought were, and they were like, holy fuck, okay, wow.
And it's just immediate. Just gone. No,
so, 100%, if you have any of your friends that you are out on a night out, and they do make, there's difference to being like, yeah, they go over there, she's really pretty.
Yes.
Opposed to being like,
of course.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, she could get, she must be so wet under there. She can barely stand up. She would be so easy.
Hell.
And that's how they're talking at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, there's a difference. And if that's how your mates are talking, I don't care if it's going to ruin your friendship with that person. Make sure it is known that it's not okay.
What's harder, an uncomfortable conversation with your mate or knowing your friend got raped? When you put it that way...
Fucking ask yourself that. That is fucking brilliant, Jack.
When you put it that way, I stole it from Daniel Sloss.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, but when I heard it...
He doesn't watch his podcast.
When I heard it put like that, I was just like even me, like I try to be a good person.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how obvious it was until I heard something like that or saw a movie like this. For many people, they'll watch this movie and go, holy fuck, like last week in town, Craig was doing this or whatever, and I should have said something.
Yeah.
This movie will make people do that.
100%.
It is such an important movie, and it's also a really fucking good movie. We're a movie podcast.
Yep.
We talk really about whether movies are good or bad. This movie is extremely good.
Exactly right. So I'll give you just a couple of quick notes that I had from the behind the scenes or stuff from this. So, according to someone from some fucking news site that they, some chick from The Ringer, the film production crew deliberately chose male actors who previously played characters known as good or wholesome to reinforce the idea that predators can be anyone.
Yeah.
As you said,
Adam Brody, very cute. Like Christopher Mintz plays fucking McLovin. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that...
And even Bo Burnham is the nicest guy in the world.
Exactly, as well. Emerald Fennell also created mood boards to illustrate to the crew how Cassie has wildly different facets of her personality.
Yeah, you can see that. Because she wants to give the relationship a chance, and it's like, but she's so shut in and angry at the world, but so scared of the world as well. But yeah, you see all these different sides to her.
Yep. There's another one that there was a deleted scene that showed Cassie with a bruise from an encounter with a potential date rapist that had put her in danger. I guess maybe it might have been too much for them to want to show and cut it. So
yeah, I understand that.
But they had that plan in there. Now this one is in regards to the ending of the movie. So originally, Fennell planned to end the film at the time Cassie's body was burned. But the production's finances balked at having a negative ending. So she also considered an ending where Cassie appears at the wedding and kills responsible men, but deemed it unrealistic.
Yeah, that would have been fucking stupid, man.
So she decided to have the ending where Cassie has a backup planned revenge, as she felt Cassie would be thorough in her planning and she would be aware she could die in her final mission.
Yeah.
Additionally, Fennell stated that having Al apprehended at his wedding would reflect Cassie's sense of humor, which is why she plans that event.
That's perfect. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cassie's brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
It's all she thinks
Yeah.
about. So yeah, she would have that.
Yep. And definitely, it definitely wouldn't. This film would not have garnered as much success if it had ended with her body burning and then really feeling like there was no justice.
It would have been too grim. It
Yeah.
would have been way too grim.
Way too much. So yeah, it's amazing what a select few people can get you to change and go, hey, just think about it for a second.
Yeah.
You've got it perfect so far. That's got to be the end of the bun.
Yep.
The last bit there to finish it off.
Yeah, I'm really glad that. Yeah, I'm glad that changes.
Good work on that. And since the film has also received 27 awards since its release, with a few of them still pending.
Yep. Yeah, it got the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. I think it should have got Best Film. I think it should have got Best Actress. No. Yeah, sorry. Elizabeth Moss should have got Best Actress. But
she should have.
But it's a horror movie.
Which she got robbed for. But
she got
doesn't matter.
Robbed. But yeah, I think every single human being on the planet needs to watch this movie, I reckon.
Yes. So, Promising Young Woman. 100% you need to watch this film.
Yep.
Whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl. Anyone needs to watch this movie just to gain some sort of awareness without it being so pushy. It's a great movie with a great message behind it.
Yep.
But
also a very confronting message. You
100%.
have to be aware.
Yeah, you definitely have to be knowing that you're going into a movie that is very, very sensitive in the world we are in now.
Yeah.
But it could help some people. It could open the eyes of other people. It's worthy of the watch, even as just a movie itself.
Even
if you disregard the agenda of the movie, as a film, it's still brilliant.
Yeah, so it starts the conversation, and then naturally conversation like this, we've been talking for almost 50 minutes.
Yeah, this is fuck, Jesus Christ.
Naturally, a conversation will evolve into us getting angry about men being creeps, you know?
Yeah.
That's how conversation works. And this movie is the flint, the kindling to start that conversation.
Exactly right.
Shout out this fucking movie.
So yeah, Promising Young Woman, you can buy it. It's out in stores everywhere, DVD and Blu-ray and such. You can also stream it on Amazon Prime, Google Play, wherever you can stream and rent your movies. So definitely check that out. It's worth a watch. We love it. We commend this to anyone.
Fucking nice.
So with that, guys, thank you for joining us on a very, very long episode of the YLT Extra. But hey, this was a movie very well worth talking about. So we had to get every single point across that we could. Yep. So thank you for sticking around with this one. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Stick around for the main show at the end of the week, which will be another Netflix one. Getting into the Netflix streams. So keep an eye for that, guys. If you do want any merch, like the shirt Jack is wearing right now, you can pick that up at the You Like That Podcast store. Links is down in our description. Like us, share us, subscribe us, do all that good stuff. Help us out where you can. And we'll keep bringing out the content for you guys every week. Twice a week.
Yep.
So until we see you guys next week for the main show and the next midweek review, my name is Adam, and I've been one half of You Like That Extra.
My name is Jack. I have been the other half of You Like That Extra.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.